Welcome back to the Black Bear Insider. The Olympic Games were held in London this summer, and a lot of Black Bear fans were watching closely for the track and field events because former Black Bear and current assistant coach for the track and field squad, Victoria Rybalko, was representing her native country, the Ukraine. It's a tough task as she had to balance both schoolwork and her athletic endeavors. We caught up with her just a while ago.
Victoria Rybalko, she's a track coach here at the university now, and you have a tremendous story of your coming to the University of Maine and your experience coming here. You also competed obviously in 2 Olympics, not 1, but 2 Olympics, which is pretty outstanding. First, talk about your experience coming to Maine. You grew up in Ukraine, and how did you make that decision to come to the University of Maine, first of all?
Well, when I was 16, 17 in Ukraine, I was going to English school, so I had really good English, and my parents decided that maybe, going abroad for school would be a best choice for me. At that time, I was into track. I had pretty good results. I was second at the European Championships for youth. So, of course, I was into my, Olympic dreams, but my parents convinced me that education was the first priority. I believed them, and so we started looking for Division I schools, and Maine was one of the first schools to offer me full scholarships, so I'm here.
Nice. And your competition, you started competing at a very young age. Talk about your experiences that brought you up to that decision to compete in the Olympics.
Well, the decision to even start track was kind of based on this huge goal of making it to the Olympics. So it's not that something, that I just was doing all along and then I got good at it. So I was talking to my parents about doing track, and that was the first thing to kind of popped up is, okay, I want to go to Olympics and I want to do track and field. And as soon as I came to my first practice, my first coach told me she's a long jumper, and that kind of, decided my fate in track and field.
Wonderful. Talk about your Olympic experience. You had 2 of them. Beijing was your first. What was that like?
The 2 Olympics are very different for me. The first one, I was younger. Being a professional athlete meant a lot more to me, I guess, than it does now. Because with time, my perspective changed a lot more towards other things that are important to me, like my family, my school, my job. So right now, I'd say my athletics are more of a hobby to me. So making it to Olympics, I've did it as part of all of the other things I'm doing in my life. Beijing, on the other hand, was one of those, my first Olympics, my first, appearance at the Olympic Games. I really wanted a medal. Unfortunately, I got hurt right before I got there, so that dream didn't come true for me. But then at the same time, it brought a lot of other things to my attention, that I'm a lot more than just a professional athlete.
You're here now at the University of Maine, which is your alma mater. You did your undergraduate work here. And talk about that experience of coming back, because you left for a while, correct, after you graduated, but you came back. Now, why did you come back to Maine?
Well, I went to University of Rochester to get my PhD degree, and then halfway through it, I was demanded by Ukrainian Federation to return to my home country to train for the Beijing Olympic Games. So I got my master's degree, and I went back to Ukraine for a couple of years, but I couldn't do it being just like what I was telling you, just a professional athlete. I mean, I know that it takes, training camps, it takes certain, structure, a lot of structure to be a professional athlete. But I also need a lot of kind of stimulation, mental stimulation that I get from school, because I love science and I love doing school, I love reading. So I decided to come back to US, and I got into the PhD program at the University of Texas, and then a year and a half later I got a job offer for University of Maine, so I decided, why not?
Familiar territory. And now that you're back, and I mean, we have this outstanding, gorgeous track, this beautiful facility on this wonderful day. Talk a little bit about your experiences now as a coach versus your experiences as an athlete.
Well, from one side, it's a new territory for me. On the other hand, I've been doing track since I was a little girl, and I've been around professional athletes for a very long time. So there is a thing or two that I can teach people. And I really enjoy working with the students. They're not kids anymore, they're young adults. They're right at the stage where they're kind of determining what their life goals are, and I'm really happy to be a part of it and help them in achieving some of the goals on the track. Because I think, if they learn how to set goals, if they learn how to work hard towards them in practice, and then when they achieve them, just, seeing the look on their face that they've actually accomplished it is what matters to me.
Absolutely. Great work, and we look forward to seeing you here for hopefully many years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.